Hey everyone, how's it going? Today I'm gonna try something brand new. It's gonna be reviewing crochet patterns. This might be a series that I try. Let me know what you think. So let's get going. So I thought it would be fun to do some pattern reviews because it's an investment. It's a hobby. It's something fun. Sometimes it's nice to kind of like know what you're getting yourself into as far as like supplies, time. And so I figured this might be really fun to connect with other crocheters as well. If you end up trying this pattern, or if you have tried this pattern before, please let me know. I'd love to hear it. This is our pattern. Are you serious? This is a scarf. It is a hot dog scarf by Twinkie Chan. I will put a link to her website. She's an absolute genius. That's all I have to say. Absolute genius. This was the first Twinkie Chan pattern I've tried. She has so many amazing ones. So check out her site. You can find all sorts of things. Sometimes she has free patterns. So I'll put a little blurb scrolling through her site. If you click buy patterns, that will link you to her Etsy, which I will also include. This pattern is probably the third or fourth thing that I ever took on for crocheting. I'm self-taught crocheter, so it was like super beginner. 8 inches wide by 72 inches long. Depending on the material you use, it will stretch. I love how long this is. It's long. You can you can wrap it around a couple times. It is luxurious. Okay, I'm getting really sweaty. As you can see, we have 2 buns and a dog here, with mustard included. This could be a hot dog scarf. It could be a Twinkie Winner sandwich. It could be a tofu dog, whatever. You could put ketchup on it if you wanted. And when I started this, I was actually thinking, I don't even like relish on my hot dogs, but I thought it would be pretty. Because I didn't realize what I was getting myself into, I decided to skip on the relish. But if any of you add relish or ketchup or any other fun things, please let me know. I'd love to see it. I thought mustard was great. The color, the contrast is just gorgeous. Okay, so the materials for this pattern: scissors, tapestry needle, which it doesn't hurt. I ended up not using one. And the hook size is H8, which is thankfully a very common hook that I ended up using anyway, so I didn't have to buy any extra hooks. And then the yarn, Twinkie Chan is a really big fan of Vanna White's yarn. I think she wrote in her book it's like really malleable and fun to work with. If you're on a budget, always check out the clearance. If you can find similar colors, go for it. You can check out secondhand stores, upcycling what you already have. There's all kinds of ways. I was lucky enough to be able to pick some up on clearance, I believe. So I did use the yarn that was written in the pattern. So these are the colors that you will be getting if you use the yarn that's recommended on the pattern. And again, I just love how like the mustard pops up. As far as assembly, we'll need straight pins, but I used like the punk rocker pins, you know, like the... Okay, straight pins. So you could use something like these, straight pins. Or these. I think I didn't even end up having any of these available at the time. I think I had a couple of these. I actually used stitch markers to hold it together. Not the best idea unless they close. If you have stitch markers that close and you can use them as like fasteners, go for it. Mine did not close. The assembly, let's just keep it real, was a disaster. And this has nothing to do with the pattern. This is a me thing. Just putting it out there. Her patterns are written out really well. She does abbreviations, so you know what she means when it's like SC, HDC. I got my notes here. I usually have to build something and take it apart a couple of times. So be patient if you are also similar to me. I learned to be patient with myself and just let it go. And then I ended up really appreciating that crochet is actually incredibly forgiving. I could mess something up and all I have to do is just undo it. Sure, I lost some time, but think about how you value that time. What were you thinking of during that time? Is it really a waste of time if it's meditative, you know? That's up to you. You just gotta let it go. Unravel it. Sure, 3 or 4 hours of work. It happens. So, once I got through that hurdle, I was able to assemble the dog and the buns pretty well. I took some pictures of the process that I still have, because there are some patterns where it's like, oh, this took me 10 hours, and it takes me 70,000 million. So I try to stay away from time because comparison is the thief of joy. Am I right? Speaking of comparison being the thief of joy, I love how imperfect this is. If we get a close up, maybe I'm a little too squiggly. I'm a little too squiggly and wiggly. Anyways, we got some mishaps happening. We got some meat. I don't know. The meat was doing something. Okay, it got a little funky, and that happened because. Let me back up a minute. As far as time spent, as far as building the separate pieces, 1 bun, 2 bun, 1 meat, or tofu, or seitan, whatever. That part was easy. And as soon as I got that done, for some reason, I was just incredibly daunted by the assembly process. And again, this is not a pattern thing. This is a me thing. I don't know what it was. I was just really intimidated. It was the first thing that I was going to assemble. As far as like at this capacity and the way in which it was assembled, entirely new world for me. And being self-taught, I was just like, I don't know why I was so scared. So what happened was this got tucked away in a trunk for about 6 months while I worked on other projects. Then finally, I even brought it with me moving across the country, still tucked away in that trunk. And I was not hard on myself for not finishing it. I knew it would happen when the time was right. Well, the time finally came. So I was gonna go assemble it. And you can see in my live stream, again, for some reason, I was not excited about the assembly. I do not know why. I've assembled other things, but not in this capacity and not in this way. So I think maybe, I don't know what it was, but it really got me shook. So after that amount of time, when I decided to bust it out and finish it once and for all, you can check out that live stream if you want. I finished it while recovering from COVID. Better time than ever. As you can see, when the meat got a little wild here. We got some personality in this baby, okay? What this is an entirely different texture, brand, style of yarn because it had been so long, I used up all the yarn. So I just used what I had, and that is the beauty of crochet. You use what you have. You can be adaptable. You kind of make up your own rules if you want. So this is where the tapestry needle comes into play. I found it easier for myself to just use a crochet hook. So I ended up not using a tapestry needle to sew it together at all and kind of played around with that. Again though, she wrote the pattern, okay? Follow her rules, and if you don't want to and it works better for another way, that's awesome too. I'm just saying, play it safe. And if it really, really, really doesn't work and it takes you 6 months to finish a project, just get it done. Technically, this project took me over a year. And there's no reason other than, well, life. Life happens, and I'm not gonna be hard on myself about it. So the mustard is done with like an embroider stitch. It's kind of like slip stitch. There we go. And this is what the other side looks like. And cool enough, like, so if it's like flapping in the breeze, right, and you're wearing it, and then it flips over, it's still kind of mustardy. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, the back looks great. And what I thought about doing when I went over this was just going over it again. And I still could, and you could too. The front, and then you flip it over, you could go back through, I'm sure. It doesn't say that on the pattern. Here's some more of the personality. That's what I love about crochet. Like, I'm not a perfect crocheter. I load it up with personality, we'll put it that way. We have the front, we have the back. I would say I actually really did enjoy the pattern, besides the assembly. And again, that's not a pattern problem, that's a me problem. So overall, like, I think this was totally worth the supplies and the struggle with assembly that I had, because I learned new things. I learned a whole new way of like attaching things together. I learned about the top layer, like the surface slip stitch, like the embroider chain stitch. So that was like really empowering, and I feel like this project built up my confidence as a crocheter, because like it's listed as a beginner, and I would say it's probably, yeah, beginner intermediate, but as somebody self-taught, you could just jump into it like I did. And guess what? You could just do it. So yeah, overall this was absolutely worth it. Even though I did get the supplies on sale, I think it ended up costing me roughly about $40 to $50 in yarn. I don't know with like inflation, again, you know, this is just a ballpark estimate. Things could be way different now when you're watching this video, so keep that in mind. If I look at the money that I spent and the time that I invested in this hot dog scarf, and the things that I learned, this was absolutely worth it. I might even do it again. Everywhere I go, when I wear this thing and I'm having like a crappy day, I put this thing out, put this thing on, and I go out. I always get somebody telling me how much they love it. And it's a really nice way to just like connect with random other crocheters or just fiber arts enthusiasts. So it even like as a conversation piece, it's great. Actually, I'm going to bring up the pattern right now. Okay, so when you go to her pattern, I'm not going to show the whole thing because that's kind of rude. Go like support, go like buy her pattern, you can see it. But I'll show you the intro. She says, this gigantic and fun hot dog scarf will remind you of summertime barbecues, campfire nights, and get-togethers with your best friends. I wore mine to a baseball game. The pattern's great for beginners, and the length of the scarf is very easy to adjust. Just pick your favorite hot dog condiments and you'll be well on your way to the most savory outfit of the season. So when she talks about the scarf being very easy to adjust, she is so on point. And again, this is just another reason why I really appreciate Twinkie Chan and everything she does. She's so creative. She uses so many different techniques to make like the coolest, like I would never imagine the stuff that she makes. It's so cool. So in going back to having this easy to adjust, do you want this shorter? Do you want this longer? Do it. You can do it. You can do whatever you want. You could throw this pattern out the window and just wing it. Good luck, but you could. I had a point. I did have a point, what I was saying with that. Oh, just like the versatility and the forgiveness of crochet. So that's really cool. And then at the end where she says, pick your favorite hot dog condiments. Yeah. Do you want to put relish on this thing? Dude, you put some. I thought about like making some like little squares for relish, but I don't eat relish on my hot dogs. You could do like little white squares for onions. You could do like all kinds of stuff. It's just amazing. And as you can see, just like me casually wearing it, you can see the other side. It's cool. It's cool. Have you given this pattern a try? Have you made this? Are you thinking about making it? Let me know. I would love to hear your experience. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up. I am here. Let's connect. Did you add mustard? Did you add ketchup? Barbecue sauce? Worms? Gummy bears? Let me know. And if you're thinking about trying it and you have any questions, hit me up. In the description below, you can check out TwinkieChan.com. That's the creator of this pattern. I really had a blast. I think that's it. Thanks for watching. If you're new to my channel, consider liking and subscribing. And if you want to see more, let me know. Do you have any other like pattern reviews or something that you'd like to see me try? Let me know. I'm very hot and sweaty. It's hot in my apartment. I'm wearing a scarf. That's showbiz, baby. Okay. Be good to each other. Take care. And so long. We'll see you next time. Bye.